All right. Hello there, everyone. Peace be upon you all. Welcome back again. In this video, we will discuss about object alignment or coordinates alignment. So basically, this is another technique when we are digitizing some objects with mapinfo professional, and we would like to align our objects into, let's say, straight order or straight path. For example, um, let's say I would like to create something. um, let's say I would like to put a rectangle somewhere in here, and we would like to duplicate the rectangles into yeah, let's say five rectangles by pressing Ctrl C and Ctrl V on keyboards and Ctrl V for 5 times. All right, click and drag the object to separate our copied a object with the original one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangle. Let's try it again. Oh, actually I have six. I paste it 6 times. All right. Let's say I have a six rectangle with the same same size of rectangle. So we would like to arrange these six rectangles in this straight path. So the idea of this is actually by using uh, reference coordinates reference from a single object, and we would like to set the other objects with respect to our first reference. So I would like to align the following rectangles with the first top one. So uh, when you still remember in our math school, actually, when drawing something in mathematically, we usually require a coordinate axis, right? So this vertical straight line act as a y-axis, and this horizontal straight line act as a x-axis. So this is x-axis, and this is gonna be y-axis. Let's say like that. But basically, this y-axis is actually um, it's actually uh, x value equal to 0, right? So uh, in the same way, x-axis is not actually x, but it's actually uh, y line equal to 0. So when we're plotting all of the value along this axis, it's actually plotting x uh, a value with respect to y equal to 0, right? So I will not talk more detail about it. I will spare the math background behind this. So how to do that to align this object? So when you double click our first object in here, we can see the coordinate attributes of this object. The boundary x1 is with a given coordinate value, the x2 given coordinate value, likewise the y1 and y2, so on and so forth. So x1 means the first edge of x boundary. So the straight line here, so the straight vertical lines representing x value actually. So x1 means this area, this line, this straight line, and x2 we're moving to the right edge of this object, so this is going to be the x2. So the y1 is let's say this horizontal boundary of this uh, object, and the y2 in the other hand is the top edge of this rectangle. All right, so this is going to be x1, this is going to be x2, this is going to be y1 and y2. So when we're moving uh, downwards, we have the center of the object. So the center of x value is given by these coordinates. So likewise, the center of y value is given by this value, coordinates value. So the center means is uh, somewhere in the middle of this object, is the center point of this object. So the center coordinates of this rectangle is given by this center x and y coordinate value. So below this is, yeah, it's only uh, dimensions matter. So the width of the object, actually I said it in miles, and the height of this rectangle is somewhere 0.05 miles. So which one I would like to use in order to align the following object beneath our top rectangles? So actually we using X in order to set uh, uh, the belowing object into straight lines. So to do so, you only need to uh, block this value and then hit copy by right click and go drop down to copy, or by pressing Ctrl C on keyboards. It's the same way, and click OK and go double click to the flowing object. So we can do this manually actually, but it's not actually precisely uh, I mean, in terms of the accuracy, it's not actually set the object precisely in straight line. So I double click the uh, following rectangle and go to the center X value and paste our previous value of our first reference object with respect to first rectangle. And when I hit Ctrl V and I hit OK, automatically the object will be aligned in a straight line with respect to our first. So we also do the same procedures to another objects. Double click it, select the X center X coordinate, paste it, all right. So here's there we go, there's the results. What about the Y coordinates? Okay, we're gonna do the same procedures with different example. I'd like to put a rectangle somewhere here, and I would like to duplicate it. Control C, Control V, let's say 3 times. 2, 3. Okay, click and drag to separate the objects. Okay, so I have a 4 rectangle here. All right, I would like to line this 4 rectangle into straight arrangements. So to do so, we need to pick our object reference first in order to set the coordinate reference. Remember, these vertical lines is respect to x value, and this horizontal line is respect to y value. All right. So let's say I would like to set the arrangements will be a parallel or align with this object. Double click to the object, go to the center Y coordinates and copy these coordinates, and double click to the others objects. All right, do the same procedures to the others object. Okay, click and drag it, set whatever you want. So uh, we may wondering how this technique will be really necessary, or will be really useful for us. Well, when we are working with mapinfo, uh, especially when we are working with layouting or creating layouts of our map. So when I create layout, for example, I want to delete all of the object. So when you still remember creating layout, we only need to go to the window, or by pressing F5 and go to new layout window. All right. So before we do that, we need to resize our window first in order to set our map view in specific area. So I don't want to put this unnecessary object into our map, into our printed map. So I set the window size, and then set zoom by zooming a specific area in order to set it only this selecting area, zooming area is visible on the layout. And now we only need to go to the window and drop down to new layout window, or by pressing F5 button on keyboard. All right, and let's set our layout frame. So this is our map. All right. Okay. Sometimes in the layout uh, papers, we want to put many things such as scale bar or map title or legends, map legends, or yeah, everything, anything. Like set the paper size first. Go into file. It's still in letter. I would like to put it in A4 paper size. Right. Set in landscape. All right. So set in actual map, printed map size. So uh, when we go to our working window, actually the coordinates shown here is a geographic coordinate, or our working coordinate. Otherwise, in the layout window, the coordinates reference is uh, GIS coordinate systems will not be available anymore. So in the layout paper size, the only coordinate reference is a paper coordinate reference. So for example, when I creating object somewhere in the layout, somewhere here, let's say, and you double click this object, you will see the coordinates value is typically way much difference with our working window, since working with working window is always dealing with a geographic or GIS coordinate systems, while this, as you may see here, the size of coordinate boundary of the objects, it's about 22.659 centimeters in length, and center is also the same accordingly. So for example, I would like to put map title somewhere in here. Let's say map of map layout of fire gas power plant, 2000 megawatt, for example, plan 2000 megawatt. Right. Mm, okay, set the font properties. I would like to make it bigger a little bit. Oh, it's exceeding, crossing our paper boundary. Yeah, let's a little bit uh, resize the map size. So, for example, I would like to adding some text below the map title. For example, the location of the map. It's situated in Cilegon, Banten, Cilegon district, and Banten province, Indonesia. All right. Uh, Created by Joms Geoscience. So when we want to align this text, even though the text is still an object in mapinfo, right? So we can click or move, click and drag, move the text by clicking and drag it. So in order to align this text, we can do the same procedures. Okay, right? By setting the coordinate reference. For example, I would like to put the text aligned with the text, first top text of the map title. I only need to double click on the first text and pick the x coordinates of the text and copy it, and then paste the x coordinate value of the text into the following text by paste on the x coordinate of the following text. I hit OK. Automatically, the second text below the first text will be aligned with respect to the first text. All right. The same procedures also can be applied to another objects. For example, this one. When I hit paste, automatically the last text will be aligned with the first one. Of course, it also can be worked with non-text object, but we need to put it in center. So basically, the center of this rectangle will be moved, will be dragged, and will be aligned with our text object above this rectangle. Okay, so you may see it. Well, that's all for today. Have a great, successful day, and thanks for watching. Mantap jiwa, mantap jiwa.